Hello, I'm Ayako Sekiguchi from Wellness Kitchen.
This time I'm going to talk about the inside of the kitchen.
Everyone's exercise time is decreasing, and when you spend a lot of time at home, it's easy to gain weight, isn't it? Even if you eat the same food, your weight doesn't decrease or you gain weight. It's easy to think that it's time to move on. So, what is visceral fat? Why can't we ignore it if we have it? I would like to talk in detail about the effects of vinegar, a food that is useful for reducing visceral fat. It's a wonderful food that is also effective for preservation at a low price. I will also tell you about the wonderfulness of vinegar. In the second half, I will talk about how to incorporate vinegar effectively to reduce visceral fat. Use dried radish to reduce visceral fat. I would also like to introduce some diet menus. Please stay tuned until the end. In the Ellen's Kitchen, we start with a food tasting as the theme. We will continue to deliver information that will energize both your mind and body. Please subscribe to our channel. To put it simply, there are two types of fat in the body: subcutaneous and visceral. Subcutaneous fat is simply located on the surface of the body. It can protect the body from cold or it can serve as a cushion. So subcutaneous fat also plays a role in shaping our appearance. On the other hand, visceral fat is located around the organs, and it's a different story. It's not just a matter of appearance. The problem is that it can cause harm. Especially men are more prone to accumulate it, and it's a problem because of the presence of this visceral fat. It puts a strain on the blood vessels. It can raise cholesterol, increase blood pressure, worsen insulin resistance, and such things can lead to arteriosclerosis or even be a cause of diabetes. It becomes a gateway to lifestyle diseases. So it's better to be careful not to accumulate this visceral fat. The reason is often due to lack of exercise or because while living a sedentary lifestyle at home, the amount of food consumed does not change. Lack of sleep can also lead to a constitution that easily accumulates fat, and if you have more visceral fat, it becomes easier to gain weight, leading to obesity. It's bad for your body, It's hard to diet, no matter how hard you try. If you're struggling to lose weight, there's a chance you might have a lot of visceral fat. There are various ways to approach dieting, but this time it's really harmful to your body. Focus a little more on reducing visceral fat. I'd like to share some tips on how to effectively use alcohol to reduce visceral fat. First of all, let's talk about alcohol. It's said to be the world's oldest seasoning, dating back 7,000 years. It's been consumed since then, so I think it can be considered a safe food. Furthermore, it has a good shelf life and is inexpensive, so you don't have to buy special teas or anything like that. By skillfully using the vinegar that's readily available, you can reduce your internal fat and maintain your health. That's why this time I like to spotlight the wonderful effects of vinegar and talk about it. I've lined up the vinegars that were available at home. Among them, this rice vinegar is the most standard vinegar. This is called black vinegar, and it's made from brown rice. There's also this one here, like wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, and balsamic vinegar. These are also balsamic vinegar. In the end, it's all vinegar. They use grains or fruits to produce alcohol and then further process it. It becomes a fermented seasoning with acetic acid bacteria. For example, black vinegar contains a lot of amino acids and red wine vinegar contains polyphenols, so the type of vinegar can also contain these. The components are different, but what they have in common is that they all help reduce internal fat with acetic acid. The health benefits of this acetic acid include suppressing the rise in blood sugar levels after meals and preventing glycation, which helps reduce body and visceral fat. It has a blood pressure lowering effect and helps with fatigue recovery, which can prevent hypertension and hyperglycemia. This is why acetic acid helps reduce fat, but let's talk about that. First, when acetic acid enters the liver and metabolizes, a substance called AP is activated. This suppresses the synthesis of fat. It helps convert the energy from food into heat, but it also prevents the absorption of sugars and fats into cells. So not only does it have an effect, but it also doubles the effect by making it easier to burn and harder to accumulate, which is great. It's not about taking it on an empty stomach, but taking it with meals is effective. It's fine to take it in the morning and at night, and the amount of food increases. It's also good to take it only at night, but the point is to take it all at once. Furthermore, it has a blood circulation effect and it dilates blood vessels when lactic acid is metabolized. It produces something called AP function. This activates the substance that produces nitric oxide. Nitric oxide dilates blood vessels by being released from the cells of the blood vessels, making the blood flow smooth. Furthermore, this nitric oxide has an effect of improving flow, so it has an effect of lowering blood pressure. By taking vinegar with meals, it can moderate the rise in blood sugar levels. This has an effect. It's said that the flow of digestion from the stomach becomes smoother. It also has the effect of absorbing calcium. It's a rule of how to take vinegar to reduce the inner thigh. However, the first point is to take it with meals. Taking it with meals can moderate the rise in blood sugar levels, so there's not much point in taking it on an empty stomach. The point is to take it before meals or together with meals. In terms of quantity, about 1 to 2 cups of vinegar is effective. Secondly, if you take it as it is, it will stimulate your stomach. So if you drink it as vinegar, please dilute it about 5 times. And thirdly, there is a method of mixing it into your rice, meaning you can easily consume vinegar. It's like sushi rice. But even compared to regular rice, making it more like sushi rice can moderate the rise in blood sugar levels, so it's quite effective. Sushi rice does contain sugar and such, so the calorie count is higher, but in terms of blood sugar levels, it seems to be more moderate than white rice. So mixing a little vinegar into your rice can also help control the rise in blood sugar levels. This applies to rice and indeed when eating grains as well. For example, adding vinegar to your quinoa or mixing vinegar into the grains themselves. It seems that mixing vinegar well into carbohydrates can help moderate the rise in blood sugar levels. This includes the vinegar used in cooking, for example, in salads, mixed dishes, or cooking. This means making good use of vinegar in various ways, even in simmered dishes or stir-fries. It's real cooking, isn't it? Even in dishes that require heating, vinegar is surprisingly effective. If you add vinegar to meat dishes, it not only adds acidity, but also enhances the flavor and makes it delicious. Also, vinegar has the effect of tenderizing meat. The acetic acid contained in vinegar, which is an effective substance, is resistant to heat. There are parts that will evaporate if you keep it on the fire for a long time, but basically it is heat resistant, so you can use it in heated cooking without any problems.
Keeping vinegar on your dining table and casually adding it to various things is the quickest and easiest way, like this.
I think you'd like to incorporate vinegar skillfully. That's the first step. Keep vinegar handy on your dining table and use it as needed. I'd like to introduce something called Dashi vinegar. When vinegar is a bit too strong, adding Dashi can make it very mild and delicious. For those who want to control their salt intake, utilizing vinegar can enhance the flavor. It has an effect so you can reduce the saltiness. By diluting the flavor and adding vinegar, it's a recommended method. The ingredients are vinegar, regular vinegar is fine, and then the dashi, kelp, and dried shiitake mushrooms, and even bonito flakes are good, but this time I want to use this dried bonito, which also provides calcium from the fish. Since it can dissolve anything, this time I want to use dried bonito. The way to make it is to prepare a container like this. First wash the mushrooms and so on around here, then put in the mushrooms, yes, and then the kelp, yes, the kelp is also appropriate. Cut it to the appropriate size and that's it. Then for the dried bonito, you remove the head and guts. Cut it in half like this. Doing so makes it easier for the flavor to come out.
burn the sake.
This time I used regular vinegar, but you can also use rice vinegar, black vinegar, or your favorite one. If you leave it naturally like this, the flavor will gradually come out and it will become more delicious. This versatile vinegar is perfect for such colorful dishes, so please make good use of it.
Continue with the dried radish.
Next, I'll introduce you to the pickled dried radish. If you pickle this dried radish in vinegar, it can be used in various dishes. Eating a little before meals can also help prevent glycation and control blood sugar levels. So it's very convenient to make a lot of it in advance. This pickled dried radish is also a versatile recipe. It contains a lot of dietary fiber and a group of vitamins. It can boost your metabolism. It's rich in vitamins that help burn sugars. So this dried radish is highly recommended as a diet food. It also has a satisfying texture, so it's easy to feel full. In that sense, this time I want to focus on this vinegar and dried radish. First, rinse the dried radish in water, squeeze it tightly and set it aside. After a quick rinse and squeeze in water, don't leave it in water for too long, as all the sweetness and nutrients will be drained out. Just a quick rinse is enough. If you don't mind, you can use it as it is. It's quite easy. Lightly scrape it off. It's quite long as it is, and it's easy to handle, so I'll cut it into lengths with scissors.
Pour boiling water here and it's ready. Pour 200 cc of boiling water, then add kombu.
Chili pepper has been added. Naturally, of course. That hot soup is being absorbed and inflated by the dried radish. But there is also vinegar in it, and the vinegar is 100 cc. After that, if you mix everything, it's done. Even though we didn't add any sugar, it's sweet. The dried radish's natural sweetness is vibrant, with a slight spiciness that's easy to enjoy. The spicy component capsaicin contained in chili peppers also has a fat-burning effect, you know. Before meals or in between meals, you know. I think it's good to eat about 1 small bowl's worth. Yes, this is complete. Keep this in the refrigerator. It will last for a week without any problem, so make a bit more. I think it's good to make this and use it every day. Yes, I especially want to use this in cooking this time. The first dish is here. I will stir-fry it with meat. I want to further develop this stir-fried dish into a grilled soba. Yes, I will use the pickled dried radish and make a stir-fry with meat. Prepare the dried radish and meat in roughly equal amounts.
I will add sesame oil. Next, I made a large kaboshi.
I'm thinking of trying to spread the stir-fry of roots and meat on yakisoba. Yakisoba is a bit sweet, so it's not a food to reduce if you're on a diet, but I still want to eat it when I'm done. So, with less noodles and more ingredients, I'll add leeks and garlic and finish it off.
The rice with grilled salmon is ready. A little glass soup is added and it's ready.
It helps to reduce fat, cut the bone, dry it, and hang the radish. I shared some recipes which was enjoyable. Just incorporating 1 or 2 cups of vinegar into various dishes every day can do wonders for your health, but there are various ways to do it. I believe vinegar can also play a role in preventing lifestyle-related diseases, so I would like you to utilize it in various dishes. Including myself, I make good use of vinegar in my ingredients. Be mindful of your lifestyle. Try out different recipes and see for yourself. Thank you for watching until the end. I look forward to seeing you in another video.